Three, two,
The
one.
Acolyte. Hold on, I want to find out. OSHA. So first of all, she's named after the Occupational Safety and Health.
Yeah,
OSHA.
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
That's all I can think of. I don't. This is what she looks like. Oh wow, she's kind of cute when she's not in the show. Fuck.
But it's the
Oh my fucking
it's the
god!
actress
It's
from
Rue.
or from The Hate You Give. That was
She's
her.
Rue from the Hunger Games.
Oh yeah,
The kid who dies.
I mean that's your thing, I guess. I never got it. I mean, I watched the movies, but it was just
Oh, I read the books and watched the movies,
Yeah.
so whatever. But that's random. I still can't get. I don't. It's been 2 episodes, okay? I'm not going to review bomb, and everybody knows how much I fucking hate doing that. But I'm having a really hard time getting into the show.
yeah. It's so part of it. I went back and watched like the first episode again today. After I rewatched the first 2 of The Bear, so I could be up on that with you. But
That's amazing.
so the best I can put it from my estimation is at least the first 2 episodes, the writing's fairly lazy.
Yeah, maybe
Like almost from the jump. Like
Oh no, it is.
it was like, oh no, she has an identical twin before they even mentioned a sister.
right.
And then you're going like, okay, well, if I know that before they've even mentioned a sister, like, okay, like this is probably going to be like it's going to be very trotting to get through.
Yes.
And they're trying to make it mysterious, but you just kind of going like you should have led with whatever this conspiracy the Jedi have done,
Right.
and then we can then see how it plays out from that instead of this whole like let's do it
Look, there's
little bit by bit.
There's a bad
whodunit.
guy
Yeah.
who was a Jedi going and get this, like you said, Jedi conspiracy.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, you should lead with that.
Sure. And then
And I get that they led with the fight because you kind of got to establish that, she's a badass and she can kill a Jedi and she's got knives, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's when they introduce her. Yeah, I don't know.
Well-
It doesn't make sense to me.
well, I mean, we're case in point, like take the opening sequence, right?
Okay.
And this is something too. I guess it is part of that. Like when you really start expanding these universes and stuff like that, you're gonna and people's different interpretations. Like the more this keeps going on, the more the Jedi look like just lazy assholes, like
I mean, maybe that's what
pompous
it is.
dicks that are just like, well, how could this happen? Like there
Well,
was
they
a dark
always-
side, we killed it off. Now how could it ever come back? That's
Right.
never going to
Nah,
happen.
we took care of that problem ages ago.
Yeah, one and done. And so, like in the opening fight sequence, it gets to that point where they're in the standoff,
Yeah.
and then what turns out to be the twin sister May,
You mean not OSHA?
throws the knife at the bartender, and apparently a Jedi Master can only focus on one thing at
Yes.
a time.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that's how she dies. Like, whereas you go to the prequel movies, Yoda could be writing a book and moving boulders at the same fucking
Yes.
time
And listening to, classical music. Yeah.
and writing it. But yet
All
this
at once.
this Jedi Master can only focus on one moving object at a time.
I've got to save you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a knife to
The heart,
my heart.
yeah.
So,
Kinda
these
like-
are the things. And
That was a
I'm-
disservice to Carrie Ann Moss.
She's got to come back, though. Well, I guess you can't.
oh,
but yeah.
they'll fucking find a way.
See, and then at that point, I will really. I'm not going to turn on it. But I'm willing to give it a chance. The Wookiee Jedi.
Yeah.
I have midi-chlorians. You have midi-chlorians.
Well, and
we are all force sensitive.
that's sort of my where a few weeks ago
And I know it was just like mentioned, and then that was it. We don't know much until tomorrow.
Yeah, comes out tomorrow. But this isn't, and to not put all the blame on the people who wrote the Acolyte, which I mean, of course, this is getting the thumbs up from Kathleen
Everyone.
Kennedy,
Yeah.
Dave Filoni, like all that stuff. I mean, this is in keeping with Lucas's reboot of the Star Wars universe, like, and that's, if you can sit there and like nitpick the prequels and the last three of like, oh well, like Jar Jar Binks or this or that. It's that it went from this like Jedis were these stoic people with magical powers to where you go to the prequels and it was like
a religion.
Well, and then they like everything happens like by mistake, like all the times they get out of shit by sheer luck, and that's the Force, and then of course like that the Force is not like essentially like wizards. It's no, there's this parasitic symbiotic bacteria that's in everything. Like why did you fuck with it? And I know like this is decades after the fact, but
I
that's what leads into these poor storylines, and that they don't keep expanding, but they don't tackle anything new. Like this would have been a great time. I mean, maybe they'll get to it that they finally put out there in reality a gray Jedi.
Yeah,
but I don't think we're going to get that because, and that's where again
this might be the closest we're going to get.
Yeah, I'll give Favreau and Filoni in that they didn't try to they expanded a singular character. They didn't try to expand the whole universe and going, we're going to create the Mandalorian, then we're going to go back and give you closure on Boba Fett, and that was it. And even then, it kind of it got hokey at times. And
let's see, Ashoka. I can never pronounce
Ashoka. Yeah,
that was a great standalone series. The Obi-Wan one was awesome, but these are, I guess. Well, no, because she wasn't a fleshed out character either. She's just kind of floated in and out.
Who?
This Ahsoka.
Well, I mean, she was in the cartoon series.
Yeah, but she's not. Oh, well, okay, you're right. I always forget about.
So you're taking, both those characters were like established.
Right, exactly.
And then,
now you're going, 1,000 years
before. Yeah.
Like a prequel's prequel, like thousands of years before. Like, okay, how is this going to connect to anything here? Is this just going to be one-off? And if it is, you better pick up the pace. How many episodes is it?
I'm trying to remember what I saw. I think it's an 8 or 9 episode run.
8.
Yeah. I was right on the first one. I say like I didn't just say 2 numbers, but yeah.
8. I don't know. I'll enjoy it. I always do.
Yeah, I mean there are a few gripes on the internet that I kind of looking at it again, like you kind of agree, like that where I forget the character's name, but
which one? The kid?
The young male?
The one with horns?
No. His
the tall, very chiseled with the hair.
Yeah, with the
Spider-Man hair.
With the Killmonger dreadlocks. And
yes,
somebody pointed out, it was like, why is that the go-to hairstyle for like now all African American characters? Like you're like Miles Morales had it.
Miles, exactly.
In the video game and the cartoon movie, but at
any rate, like,
you're going like, I mean, that's like a nitpicky thing that I'm like, okay, sure, but
that character I'm okay with.
We also go through this like a million times over. Everybody hates the first 2 episodes, and then when they get to the fruition of the season, then they're like, oh, that was totally amazing. So
I'm willing to give it a chance. I will. Of course I'm going to give it a fucking chance. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, we got nothing else to do.
Fuck no, except watch The Bear.
But I mean, it does it increasingly too, and I think this would be like the better pivot on that. Well, so actually 2 things. So sticking with my original thought before I backtrack on it.
Yes.
Again, this is another chapter in showing that honestly speaking, and I know I'm not saying that like Star Trek, the Star Trek fandom doesn't have its toxic moments and stuff, but Star Wars on the whole is like, it's just a fucking bunch of assholes.
Toxic.
Like, just terrible. Like, they don't, and it's weird because like it always starts off the same way. Like why is it woke? I hate this fucking shit. And then by like episode 6, they'll be like, this might be one of the best Star Trek properties,
exactly,
or Star Wars properties. Like,
we've talked ad nauseum about the whole review bombing and the toxic people.
but like Star Wars is
terrible. Marvel will be there soon because it's building up steam. But Star Wars, is it because it spans like there are 70-year-olds who
as I say, like it is multi-gen, and not just like 2 generations. It's like 3 generations now. Yeah, or
so,
4 maybe.
Maybe the my kids. What are they? Gen X, Gen.
Well,
whatever.
you got Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids.
So those kids don't know anything about OG Star Wars, so they look at everything through the prism of Jar Jar Binks, or they would be Rey.
Yeah, well, like they like the prequels because that's what they grew up with.
Yeah.
So to them, Jar Jar Binks is not this piece of shit.
He's a Jedi.
Well, no. I mean, like, I still buy into the whole thing. Like, and they should have played in, or at least go back.
I've read conspiracy theories that
where he's a Sith Lord.
He was going to be, and because everybody shit on him, they didn't make him a Sith Lord.
But I like the point of like all of his bad decisions lead to the Emperor. So he's a I don't want to say closeted, but like he's an undercover Sith agent. Which makes a lot more sense and makes the character better.
He's not really fighting. He's like tripping over himself. Yeah. He's either the smartest Jedi Sith Lord ever.
Well, I'm just saying is that we say that, and I mean, I remember I never had the Forest Moon of Endor set, like the landscape play set.
With the
tree? I had like but I had a bajillion Ewoks. I don't know what happened to them. You would think one of them would have popped up.
I had the tree, and I had Yoda's head, because that one had like styrofoam, or not styrofoam, but like foam sponge that you could fall through. Yeah, man, that fucking set was dope.
But like Jar Jar Binks is our Ewoks. Like, so if they were to come out with Return of the Jedi now, and like say it never existed before, that same fucking toxic group would be like, why do we need midgets running around? And then it would be like, how dare you call them that? They're little people, and it turns into the inner toxicity of that horrible fan. And of course,
well, you still get the
underlying
sister.
And then like that was totally fine, but like now it's like, and then of course it just exposes like underlying racism. Like when they get like Billy D. Williams was fine, but we can't have more than one black person.
Well, they all said that with Rey being a Jedi, and it was like, we can't have no woman master Jedi. Like you're right.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Which is just weird in science fiction, because like you're talking about alternate universes, whether it's
There's
past
a dude
or
who looks like a
future.
crawfish. There's a guy whose head is literally shaped like an L.
Yeah.
Here. Fuck.
Oh,
and we're talking. Go ahead.
I was going to say,
because I'm just.
The second point I was going to say was what I do find interesting about these new ones, like we said before, like the Jedi or some like.